Efficient Air Service in Riverdale, New Jersey. When did you start the business?
2005.
2005?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what inspired you to start Efficient Air Service? It's a HVAC, heating and air conditioning company. What made you start it? What inspired you to start a company?
10 years prior, I worked for someone and I felt like I had more to offer. My daughter was born, so that kind of inspired me. My first daughter was born, that kind of inspired me to start this up.
All right, so your daughter was born and you got a vision for your whole life ahead of you on how you want to support your family. So going into business was your way of doing it?
Yeah, I mean, when you probably know how it is when you have two income household and one income goes,
of course,
you lose one income. So it was up to me to figure out a way to make some additional, find some additional resources.
Okay, so we're in your building right now. It's like a couple thousand square feet. You got warehouse space here. You got some desks here for your workers.
Yeah, this is our original location. We moved in here in 2011.
Now check out the exterior of the building. Check out his trucks. All right, so here we are on Route 23, southbound.
Yes, sir.
This is southbound here?
Yes, it is.
All right, so you're next to BJ's, you get next to some big retailers here.
Yeah.
So you started your business in 2005, is that right?
Yes.
And then you basically started in your parents' house. And then
It was my first house.
Right.
I started out of that garage and then moved to another house.
Yeah.
That was like chapter 2, and then this is chapter 3 when I saw this property.
So what year did you buy this building?
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bought it in 2011, and you just started here, and you just started cranking, and then visibility with all these cars coming by. Now you're getting a lot of traffic. You know, people are seeing your sign.
Yeah.
So business started expanding for you. You bought more trucks. You added more employees, right?
Yeah, I mean, the location definitely helps. A small business needs to be seen.
Yeah.
And this is a great place. We have Home Depot across the street.
Right.
So my vision was a lot of homeowners would be, all our customers would be potentially pulling out, seeing our space, and eventually that would help us grow our company.
So you're an HVAC company. You specialize in heating and air conditioning for residential homes?
We do residential mostly. We also do some light commercial.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like you need a haircut, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the office, your office. I'll cut your hair, and we're going to dive in deeper on how you started.
All right.
And, where you're going in the future.
Sounds good.
And we're going to figure out what you did to get you where you are now.
Sure.
Cool?
Let's do it.
Cool. Let's see you there. Al, founder, CEO, Efficient Air Service, Riverdale, New Jersey. In your headquarters here.
Yes, sir.
This is where all the action happens, right?
Yeah, this is the administrative building.
So this is where this is where all the phone calls come in.
Yes.
Every time the phone rings, it comes routed here, and then your people pick up the phone.
Yeah, we have
and schedule appointments.
Yeah. We have a great customer service team. They really do a great job.
Okay.
This business we're in is a customer service business. So without the customer service, we don't have what we consider a great business.
So quick recap: you started the business in 2005.
Correct.
Right. It's a heating and air conditioning company specializing in residential services.
Yep.
So. We're in the Northeast here in New Jersey, so this is the heating season now?
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of heating calls?
Yeah, they're starting to come in. We have the heating calls. We've got a lot of maintenances going on, making sure that things are in tip-top shape, getting it ready for the cold weather. Yep.
You basically started in the house, in the garage.
Yep.
And you had a kid, right? You had your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter was born 2004.
And then that inspired you to open your own business?
Yeah, like I said earlier, losing that one income, it makes a big difference. So at the time I was already working for someone for about 10 years. So I felt like I had more to offer than what I was doing at the time. So that's what kind of inspired me. So really, the birth of my first child is really what inspired me to start up a Fissionaire.
That's awesome. So you were like a man in a van.
Yeah,
right?
It was just me.
You were running your own service calls?
Yeah, yep. I was doing it all, one person.
And then, slowly you just kept on adding to the fleet of trucks. Now, how many trucks are you up to now? So you started with one.
Yeah, I think we probably have about 12 to 13 trucks on the road right now today.
12 to 13 service vans?
Yeah, it's a combination of service plus install guys as well.
Mm-hmm. And then you have, you have service techs servicing.
Yeah,
right?
So the service techs, they're running around doing the service calls and all the routine maintenance.
Yeah. So, and then you have like your office workers, right?
Yeah, we have, there's about, just right here in this location, we have about 6 people here.
You have 6 in the office?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So there's like a lot of moving parts here.
Oh yeah.
It's much different than running a barber shop because, here you have to schedule the jobs, and then, you have marketing, and then you have, planning the job sites, right? You need somebody to manage the job, right?
Yeah, that's the manager of the jobs would be our install manager. So he's kind of managing all the daily swap outs we do and the new installations. Mm-hmm. And then we have a service manager who just takes care of the service team, which is about 6 guys. Mm-hmm. And then of course we have an office manager. So yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to this type of business.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming to somebody just starting in the business.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So what would you recommend for someone who's starting out in their own business who has this many moving parts? What would you recommend to them starting out? What would they have to specialize in now in order for them to grow and prosper?
Yeah.
Like, what are the skills needed? Because I'm sure the skills were different when you started, right? Mm-hmm. You were 20 years ago, so we didn't have as much technology that we have now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think it's a great question. I mean, in my opinion, the skill that got me to start a Fissionaire, that was obviously knowing how to do the work that happens in the field, and the skills are different to grow a successful company. Mm-hmm. To grow a company that you can actually, take into the future, that requires business skills. So right. my best advice is to learn how to grow a company, get skills on business, and that I think would be your best bet moving forward.
So what screams out to me is like, you gotta, number one, be good with technology, right? You gotta know how to, if you're not gonna hire a marketing department, then you sure as hell better be good at marketing, right? And if you are gonna do marketing, then you need somebody on the other side to close the deals. Mm-hmm. So you do need sales skills.
Oh yeah, I think any business needs sales skills. Without a sale, nothing happens, right?
Yeah, so if you could do marketing and you could do sales and close deals, then you are a savage in the business, correct? If you could do 2 of those and not just 1 of those, that is probably
honestly, it takes everything.
2 of the biggest skills.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I might disagree with you there. I think you have to be strong in all areas. You have to be able to get your phones to ring. Yes, you're right. You do have to go out and sell your services to the public. That's super important. And how you deliver those services in the form of customer service and skilled people. All those things have to be done well. I don't think just having 1 or 2 of the 3 gets it done.
No, of course, but those are probably the 2 biggest skills. As an outsider looking in, you'd probably want to have the most skill and the most confidence in both.
Yeah, remember, these businesses a lot of these companies start with guys that are, working in the field.
Right.
So we come in with a technical background.
Right.
And that's what I was saying earlier. You have to, the best advice I can give is learning other skills, getting better at sales and marketing. Mm-hmm. And obviously knowing how to price your jobs well so that you can hire the best people and deliver the best service.
So you've been in the business, in the industry for 30 years at this point, right?
Almost, yeah. I started in 1994, so yeah, it's going on 30 years.
And as a business owner, you've been in business for at least over 20 years at this point?
About 20 now, close to 20.
With over 12 trucks on the road, over 20 employees running the business.
Yeah.
Where do you see your future going?
Yeah,
where are you going with it?
That's a great question. Well, we want to, we definitely want to continue to, growing is important, but we don't want to grow unless we're ready for it. Because growing when you're not prepared for it is not a very comfortable thing. Mm-hmm. So we want to grow the company, of course, but we still want to continue to deliver the best level of service, the best quality. Our future, I'd like to see us get into electrical, definitely some plumbing. We're definitely going to get more into plumbing. Electric might be a long way out, but the next immediate thing for us would be to continue being really good at HVAC. We're very good at plumbing right now. We do a lot of boilers and water heaters. Expanding into plumbing a little bit more might be something that we would see in the near future.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and you do heavy marketing, right? Like online type of marketing to get the phone ring?
Well, yeah, our businesses do require a lot of marketing. You do have to have a budget allocated for that. So yeah, we do a lot of repeat business and a lot of referral work as well. We don't always go out and get new customers. We have a lot of existing customers. We're talking, 20 years of working with customers. So.
Of course. So what was your biggest setback, you think, throughout your 20 years as being a business owner? What was the hardest challenge you had that you could remember, that sticks out in your mind? And how did you overcome it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first, I would say two major, I would say, economic setbacks. One was the financial crisis of 2008. That was tough because I was a new owner at the time. I was kind of a startup.
How many years were you into it?
I was only into it for about 3 years. When I first started, we had the residential, kind of market boom, and then eventually it crashed. So I kind of got a little taste of, what it was like to experience a really good, strong economy, and then things went really bad. I would say, I was kind of small then. I didn't have too many employees, so the risk wasn't as great. I just remember, we just weren't getting enough work, and we didn't have to lay anybody off, but it was. Sometimes I think we probably should have did a layoff just for a short term.
Yeah.
Because, cash is king, and if you don't have cash, you don't have a business. I would say that, and then of course the next major crisis would definitely be COVID.
Okay.
And I would say the way now there was I had more people, and the risks were obviously much higher. And initially it was a shock. Our phones completely stopped ringing, and we didn't know what to do at that point. But after after thinking about how we're going to navigate this, we did have a pivot, and we figured, well, if our phones aren't going to ring, the best thing we can do is start calling out. And we created, a few different options for our homeowners, because we knew when it happened, it was in, I guess, March, and we knew summer was coming. It was going to be busy. It was just a matter of time. Yeah. So we did have to make a pivot. Since our phones weren't ringing, we were calling out, and we basically gave people 3 choices. The choice number 1 was we can come and do the service and get you ready for the anticipated heat, or we can just come and work on the outside portion of your AC, or we can just or you could talk to a tech for free. And that's kind of how we navigated it. So slowly and surely. the summer came and it got really hot that year, and we did kind of pick up where we left off. So COVID did impact us for a little bit, but actually afterwards, with everyone being home, it wasn't such a huge impact. But initially, it was a shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to start your company over again, is there anything you'd like to do over again? Like, is there a specific system you'd like to have installed earlier, or a process that you could have had in place earlier that could have helped you through the tough times?
Wow, that's a great question. If I can start over again, I would definitely focus on, as I was saying earlier, I came into this business with more of a technical background.
Right.
I probably would have focused more on learning more the business skills needed to succeed earlier on. I think that's important. And
I think you brought up a very good point, because we're pretty much in the same kind of business, service-based businesses, and a lot of owners that start these types of businesses are technicians that don't have any managerial or entrepreneurial skills.
right.
So when they jump into a business, they lack those skills.
Yeah.
So if you don't fill those gaps in, then your company's going to suffer.
Yes.
So we both learned over the years that we had to, work on those types of skills rather than just be a technician. And those are 3 different hats with 3 different skill sets. So that's a really big point you made, because new entrepreneurs who want to get into business, you definitely got to consider your skill set and what can you do to fill in those gaps if you decide to own your own business.
Yeah.
It's a very good point.
I've met some people that, focused more on buying the best truck with the best tools.
Right.
Those are the wrong skills. You need to get those sales skills and business operating skills.
That's correct. That's a huge point right there. How about managing money? I know it's a big one too, especially for like small startups. What do they do with their cash flow? How to manage it, having reserves in place for tough times, and having money set aside for investing, right? Like investing for the long term. Yeah. That's also a big thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, for us, you're right. I think, the excess, whatever excess money you do make in these companies, you should take it out and invest it in either in the stock market or in real estate, whatever suits you and your risk tolerance. But, for us, we didn't really have the ability to really invest much in the beginning, because I was a startup company with no customer base. So whatever excess money we made, we did reinvest it back into the company, whether it was buying another truck or, investing in hiring another person, etc. So we always reinvested back into the company, which is why we're here today.
So if you were to give a future business owner any advice on how to start a business in 2023, what would that one advice be?
Like I said earlier, I mean, I would learn the skills necessary to succeed at business, and that means you need to know sales, you need to know marketing, you need to know how to read a profit and loss sheet, you need to know how to price yourself for profits. I mean, the list can go on and on. That's what's gonna propel you into the future more than the technical ability that they have. But in the beginning, you do need to have the technical skill to get your business off the ground.
Cool. So my little question here is, as a consumer, I live in Florida and my AC runs 24 hours, 7 days a week. How often should I be changing my air filter?
I mean, on average, depending on which one you buy, I would say about 90 days. I would at least take a look at it every 90 days.
And now for people who live in the Northeast, where the weather is a little colder and they only run their AC about 2 months out of the year, should they be changing it every 30 days? Does it matter?
No, again, it's really take a look at it, see if it needs to be cleaned. If it's dirty, go ahead and replace it. If it looks pretty good, if it's not gray, you can probably put it back in and continue using it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So if someone's watching here and they're in the Northeast and Northeast Jersey.
Yeah, northern New Jersey.
How could potential customers get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So you can go visit us on the web at efficientairservice.com. We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram too. Our phone number is 973-237-1500.
Cool. So here you have it. We just spent some time with the owner of Efficient Air Service in New Jersey. We learned some cool tips and tricks as a small business owner on what we could do to help run our business. And for the consumer, we learned how to change our air filters whenever we need it. Is there any final comments you want to make?
Not really. I feel like we kind of covered a lot. We talked about some really important things about being a startup in this industry.
Yeah.
And I think I gave some good pointers. If anyone ever wants to discuss anything, feel free to reach out.
Are you hiring any technicians now or salespeople?
We are technicians. We're pretty good. We're always looking for a really good salesperson.
And how would they get in touch with you for that? Just call the phone number?
Yeah, same thing. You can email me at al@efficientairservice.com
Awesome.
or call in.
All right, so let's get Al on his way because he's got to start making some sales calls. How do you like the haircut? Does that look cool?
Yeah, it looks great.
Will that work?
Yeah, that'll work.
Awesome. Your customers are going to love this. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Barber Up Podcast. Thank you.